The average public sector worker in Victoria during the lockdowns last year received around a $1,500 pay rise, while the average private sector worker had their wages cut by $1,200. This is just characteristic of what we saw throughout the whole lockdown experience. It seemed to be one rule if you worked in the public sector and another if you worked in the private sector.
Now, this is happening in the state where we have the highest paid public servants anywhere other than in the ACT. The average salary for a Victorian public servant is now $108,000 a year. We have the fastest growing public service in the country, and we clearly have the most incompetent.
And we saw Tim Pallas, the Treasurer, out there saying there are some who have profited from the pandemic and they need to pay their fair share. But he failed to mention that he himself received a $37,000 pay rise. So it's just gobsmacking that he would cast blame on other people. Now, Jacinta Ardern, who I don't agree with all of her policies, during the pandemic at the very start said, I'm going to take a 20% pay cut to show New Zealanders that we're with you in this fight, to show some shared sacrifice. At the same time, Daniel Andrews received a $46,000 pay rise, making him the most well-remunerated Premier in the country.
And we've had hundreds of members of the public calling us, hundreds of private sector business owners calling us at the IPA, telling us what their experience is and telling us that no one else seems to be listening to what they're saying. I'm not begrudging public sector workers who have been able to work, being paid, being compensated fairly for their work. But you cannot say that the entire Andrews ministry, in between the two lockdowns, taking a 12% pay rise, that is not commensurate with the responsibility they had. That is not commensurate with the job they were doing.